So this is the brand new MINI Countryman, the brand's biggest SUV that for the first time will be available in both petrol and all-electric forms when it arrives next year. Now this third generation joins the first two that first appeared in 2010 and then later 2017, broadening the appeal to the classic Mini buyers with a car that was big enough to fit most of the family's clobber in something fairly stylish.
For this all-new third generation, MINI has followed a similar path in sharing bits with the BMW twin, going so far as to now build it in the very same factory where it will be manufactured alongside forthcoming combustion and plug-in hybrid models too.
What's different about this all-new Countryman? Well, I grant you, it does kind of look like the last one, but overall, the whole thing is a lot more contemporary and a lot more streamlined. Those classic Mini traits, things like the blacked out pillars and the floating roof, are still there, but everything's been slightly adjusted. Now the bodywork itself is also really quite interesting. As you can see, there's no longer any sort of detail here on the front section, but this new bodywork actually looks really crisp and clean, and it's actually got some width here at the back as well. Now this silver section here, which is also body coloured or black depending on the colour of the roof, kind of disguises the fact that MINI have stretched this car by 130mm, which is quite big. It also makes this window here look a little less long, which isn't helped by these fairings on the back that really help you aero. Now here at the back, the biggest change you'll see is that MINI has decided to place the number plate back down on the lower bumper. It creates a much more streamlined and clean look at the back. Like the MINI electric hatchback, it has those same matrix LED taillights that you can change depending on the driver mode. And what's a really cool feature here is that there's this slight undercut to the lower bumper. It makes the car look a little less sort of dumpy, considering it's a little bit longer than the old one was before. I think it looks great.
Another benefit of this stretched bodywork is the expansion of its interior space, which is now much more commodious both in the second row and the boot. MINI's had no issues letting the Countryman grow though, because there's due to be a 5-door Aceman SUV coming next year, which will effectively replace the previous 5-door hatchback, slotting nicely between the standard Cooper and this new Countryman.
So like the Mini Cooper electric hatchback, the interior of the Countryman has been completely revitalised. This awesome 240mm or 9.5-inch circular OLED display controls everything from the infotainment system, your sat-nav, Apple CarPlay, and your stereo. It also acts as the car's main driver information display, where it shows your screen, your battery usage or your fuel, and also all of your driver modes. As a result, it doesn't have the binnacle in front of the steering wheel, but higher spec models do get a heads-up display, which is quite useful. As for the rest of the design, well, it's just really cool. This sort of 3D knitted fabric dashboard is completely unique, and depending on the trim line, even ombres into this cool brown colour depending on your spec. Now the main difference in terms of design between this and the Cooper is the fact that the ear vents are vertical rather than horizontal. And there's also a bit more of a substantial centre console as well.
Being a close relative of the BMW iX1, it comes as little surprise to see the two will share some of the same powertrain options, with the top spec all-4 model you see here featuring an identical 309 brake horsepower dual motor system paired with a 64.9 kWh battery pack. Its 0 to 62 time is rated at 5.6 seconds, making it the fastest Countryman yet. MINI is quoting an estimated range of 279 miles, with a peak DC charging speed of 130 kilowatts, giving it the ability to charge from 10 to 80% in 29 minutes. Underneath, this dual motor model will sit a new single motor option as well that has 188 brake horsepower and a smaller 51.4 kWh battery pack. Although, at the time of writing, MINI has yet to specify the exact ranges for this new base model.
So, what do you think about part 2 of MINI's revitalisation? Now, as I mentioned before, this is going to be joined by a slightly smaller Aceman 5-door SUV as well. And you know what? I think it hits the brief. Let me know in your comments below.